Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm excited to share a slow and gentle Hatha flow with you. So we'll begin seated on our mat in a comfortable position, either cross-legged or sitting down on your heels. Take a couple deep breaths here, closing down the eyes if you'd like. Just taking a moment to settle in your body and prepare for the short bit of movement that we'll be doing today. Now inhale and reach your arms up overhead, press your palms together as you exhale, bringing the hands down in front of the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up again, press the palms together, exhale, bringing the hands down. Repeat this a couple more times in time with your breath, just getting some movement going in the shoulders and arms, bringing some energy there. Inhaling, arms up, pressing the palms together, exhaling down to chest. Now rest your hands on your legs and just take a breath and feel the energy that's come to your arms. Now tilt your head over to the right and extend your left arm out to the side. Just finding a spot in your neck that's really tight and breathing into this stretch here. And take a couple more breaths. Maybe walking the left fingertips out a little more to deepen the stretch. And just breathing. Now on your next exhale, start to rotate your head just in a little half circle, so dipping the chin down to the chest and over to the left shoulder, and then dipping the chin back down again over to the right shoulder. Just doing this back and forth, and just feeling all the little muscles in your neck that this is stretching as you move. We'll just do a couple more. And then the next time your head is facing the left this time, we're going to leave the head there, tilt the head to get a nice stretch in the neck, and walk the right fingertips out slightly beside you. Just stretching out the tightest part in your neck on the other side this time. Just one more breath here. And then inhale, bringing your head back to center. We're going to move into a kneeling position. So if you were sitting cross-legged, just come to your knees. Tuck your toes underneath and sit back towards your heels. This gives us a nice stretch in the toes and the whole bottom of the foot. You can move around, wiggling in different areas of your foot, or you can just stay still. Now untuck your toes, flatten your feet on the mat, and lean back using your fingertips to sort of push yourself off the mat a little bit, lifting your knees just to stretch the front of the foot. Okay, now we will come into a cross-legged position, just seated comfortably on the mat, resting your hands on your knees. Take a breath here as you get comfortable in the position, keeping your lower body relaxed and your spine long by reaching up through the crown of the head. In your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead, and then as you exhale, lower your arms slowly while rotating your wrists. Inhale, reaching the arms up again, and exhaling, rotating the wrists, making sure that you switch directions at some point, and bringing the hands back down to the mat. Inhale, reaching the arms up again with your fingers spread wide, and exhale, flick your fingers out as you bring your arms back down to your knees. Now roll the shoulders up, back, and down. And we'll do this a few times. Just really slowly up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. This is a really good way to promote your shoulders to rest in a good posture, just kind of correcting any forward hunches. One more time, and relaxing. Now we'll go the opposite way, so lifting the shoulders up, forwards, and down. Doing this a few more times, just noticing how this feels different from when we were rolling our shoulders back. Noticing the difference between how your shoulders move, and coming back to a neutral seated position. Now bring your left hand to your right knee and bring the right hand to the floor behind your back, gently twisting and turning your gaze to look over your right shoulder. Maintain a long spine by reaching up through the crown of the head as if there's an invisible string at the top of your head pulling upwards. Not like what I'm doing here, trying to get my dog to lay down, but more like this. The spine centered over the pelvis, just breathing into the gentle twist. And on your next exhale, releasing the hands to the front, coming back to center, and then placing your right hand on your left knee, the left hand behind your back, and gazing over your left shoulder. The hand can be any distance away from your back, just so long as you're not pushing yourself or pulling into the twist. One more breath here. And then on your next exhale, releasing the right hand, and then bringing both hands to your knees in front of you. Next, we will move into bound angle position. So bring your feet together so the soles of your feet are touching in front of you, centered in front of your pelvis. And your knees can be reaching up off the ground, any amount, and pull the heels slightly towards your pelvis. Now with your legs strong, just do these tiny little butterfly movements. So moving the knees up and down, just bringing some movement into the hips, pressing the feet together. Now bring the stillness back to your legs. And continue pressing the feet together as you reach the knees towards the ground. Your hands can be on your feet, on your ankles, or on your shins, wherever you can rest comfortably while allowing your shoulders to relax. On your next exhale, relaxing the legs so that you are no longer pressing the knees towards the ground, and now you're just letting them fall towards the ground. On an exhale, lower your head so that you're folding slightly over your legs, just enough to feel a deep stretch in your inner thighs. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, roll up through the spine until you're back in your seated bound angle position. And lifting the knees, maybe with the hands to come out of the pose, coming onto your hands and knees into tabletop pose. So the knees are directly under the hips. The wrists and elbows are directly under your shoulders. Now inhale, lifting your chin, dropping your belly. Exhale, bring your chin to your chest and push, arching your back. Inhale, bring the shoulder blades back, lift the chin. Exhale, push into the mat, curling your spine like an angry cat. Move through a couple more cat and cow poses in time with your breath. On the exhales, pushing, engaging the core. On your inhales, rolling the shoulders back and lifting the chin as the belly drops. And one more cycle of cat and cow. And then coming into tabletop pose, tucking your toes under into the mat and lifting your hips up, pressing into the hands, coming into a downward dog pose. So the heels are reaching towards the mat, the knees can be bent any amount, the legs about hip width distance apart, and the hands wide at the edges of the mat. You can move your legs a little bit, bending one knee at a time to stretch out each leg. And then exhale, drop your knees back down onto the mat, flatten your feet, bringing the toes to touch. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs for child's pose. We'll take a couple breaths here in this resting pose. Just really letting the shoulders relax and the head hang, forehead on the mat. And then inhale, coming back up to tabletop pose. Tuck your toes underneath your feet, pressing into the mat. Lifting the hips up towards the sky, pressing your hands into the mat. Slight bend in the knees, thighs rolled outwards, and also keeping the shoulders open, sliding down your back and away from your ears, so nice and wide. Letting your neck hang, and breathing here, and then exhaling your knees down to the mat, flattening your feet underneath, and then bringing the toes to touch, sitting back on your heels, inhaling your arms overhead for length, and exhaling, bringing your forehead down to the mat in front of you for child's pose. Let the neck relax, let the shoulders relax, breathing into this pose. And then bring your hands behind you towards your feet, clasp the hands together on your lower back, and then slowly start to lift your hands. Stop moving them as soon as you feel a little bit of resistance in your shoulders and stay there, breathing into the stretch, and then slowly keep moving them up, feeling the different stretches in different muscles along the way, and then finding stillness in the deep shoulder stretch, breathing deeply, feeling the belly press into the legs as you inhale, and deflating as you exhale. Just a couple more breaths. And then slowly start moving the hands back towards your lower back, just a couple inches at a time. And really feeling every little muscle in your shoulders that you're stretching as you go back down. This stretch is really great to relieve tension in the shoulders, which is where we carry most of our stress, especially from hunching over at computers. So this just allows those muscles to stretch and lengthen and hopefully relieve some of that tension in your shoulders. Now relax your hands back down to the mat so that they're resting beside your feet. And take a few breaths here in our final resting child's pose. When you're ready to come out of the pose, bring your hands in front of your head and push into the mat back to seated position. Inhale and reach your arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale, bringing them down to heart center. Thank you for joining me today. Namaste.